Hi, I'm Mark, and I was diagnosed with low-grade follicular non-Hodgkin lymphoma. 5 years ago, I had an epileptic seizure, totally out of the blue. I was previously healthy, very active, and as part of the investigation into the causes of my seizure, a lump was noticed on my neck. It was felt to be innocuous, but to be sure, I underwent some tests, and that led to the diagnosis of lymphoma. I'd never heard of the word lymphoma before, and it was only through the experience of having it that I discovered what it was. I was told at the time by the ENT consultant that I had follicular non-Hodgkin lymphoma. I understood that it was a particular categorization of lymphoma, dependent on the presence or not of a particular cell, which was discovered by Hodgkin many years ago. I guess it's just a label as far as I'm concerned. Not really important. It's the consequence of having it is the key thing from my point of view. I was told that there were two courses of action. One was watch and wait. Also, there was the option of applying chemotherapy straight away. Very difficult dilemma, and so I was actually offered, and I took up a second opinion. So I went to another consultant for a second opinion. He was very clear that it should be watch and wait, and that was reassuring. So I went with the watch and wait. I initially went visited the consultant every 3 months. Now that has reduced to 6 monthly, based on the fact that I've continued to show no symptoms. So it really is slow growing, which is great. That's a bonus. It was inevitably very worrying, regardless of the network around me supporting me. It is a devastating blow. You kind of feel that you're indestructible, and then something like this comes along, and it realizes that you're really fragile. And so I needed a lot of information. I'm someone who needs information. I don't want to turn away from reality. I need to confront reality, get lots of information, and then make informed decisions about it. Fortunately, my internet browsing took me to the Lymphoma Association website. It became clear that it was a very good website in terms of information and support. Quite soon after I was diagnosed, I was made aware of a newly forming support group, Lymphoma Association support group. Happened to be quite local, so I was fortunate enough to be at the very first meeting of that support group. It was a support group set up by a clinical nurse specialist at a hospital, and I now help to organise the support group. It's still going strong after 4.5 years. I've met people through the support group who are in exactly the same position as myself, low grade, and on a watch and wait regime, and that's great. It's kind of being in a club that you really don't want to be a member of, but given that you have to be a member of that club, it's great to be with fellow members of that club. Conferences are fantastic. As I say, I'm very much I'm an analyst. I have an academic scientific background. I want to know as much about my condition as possible. The conferences serve that purpose very well. They have the right sort of balance between the medical scientific type seminars, and also the human side of of having the disease, psychological side, what it's like to live with the disease. It didn't really interrupt my work. Obviously, it was a mental distraction. So in terms of initially, concentrating, I used to be distracted by thoughts of what I was going through. But other than that, no. I had to obviously tell my closest work colleagues that I was in this situation, and they made certain allowances if I needed to get away, and have some me time, be on my own. Then that was fine. But as it happened, I used work as a distraction and tried to focus on that and not on my thoughts of lymphoma. I'm living with lymphoma. It's very much a kind of a background thought. If I didn't know I had lymphoma, then I'd be none the wiser. In terms of physical symptoms, I have none. I play sport. I live my life as I would have before the diagnosis. I've also gained the I guess the friendship of the Lymphoma Association. It's really opened up a new world, and again, it's not a world I would have wanted to enter, but having had to enter it, it's great. It's fun. I've met a lot of fun people and a lot of interesting people.